Our first speaker this evening is Thanh Thai. He is a seasoned communicator of our club. Regardless of how experienced or inexperienced you think you are as a communicator, Han thinks there is always room for improvement. His question to you is, what are you doing to get better as a communicator? If your answer is, I don't know, or I haven't thought about that, then you're in luck, because that is exactly what he is getting ready to do tonight. He is here to empower you with a methodology to become a great communicator. The title of his speech is A Law of Communication. He is asking for 8 to 10 minutes. Please give your biggest round of applause for our one and only Thanh Thai. You're on mute, Thanh.
Wow, I'm so glad that we're finally together. I woke up today filled with anticipation for our time together tonight. I couldn't wait to share what I'm about to share with you. I created this whole presentation just for you. Now, in just a few minutes, I'll be sharing some tips that if you choose to implement, could be the secret sauce to your success as a communicator. Given the question that I posted at the beginning of this introduction, which was, what are you doing to get yourself better as a communicator, as well as what I've said thus far, I want you to ask yourself a question. What is the best thing that could happen to me tonight? Me being you, what could be the best thing that would happen to me tonight during the time that we're together? And then throughout my talk, see if you can find it. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and very honored guests. Some of you may already recognize who this man is. That's right, he's Mr. John C. Maxwell. He's an American author who has written over 100 books on the topics of leadership and communication. He's sold over 20 million copies of his books. He's also an extraordinary speaker, very dynamic. If you have not seen him speak before, I encourage you to look him up and watch some of his videos, and you know what I mean. He's actually also a Toastmaster. In 2012, he received the Toastmaster International's Golden Gavel Award. Now, for the benefit of our guests and our newer members, the Golden Gavel Award is the highest and most prestigious award that you can receive from Toastmaster International. Earlier this year, John published a book called The 16 Laws of Communication, Undeniable Laws of Communication. And I'm here to share with you one of those laws tonight. And I chose that law because I think it will resonate with most of you, if not all of you. And that is the law of observation. The law of observation basically says this: good communication or good communicators learn from great communicators. Good communicators learn from great communicators. Now, if you want to be a good attorney, you want to learn from great attorneys. If you want to be a good comedian, like Joseph said, you want to learn from a great comedian like Jerry Seinfeld. If I want to be a good classroom teacher, I know I would want to learn from Jennifer Wu, one of our members in this club, who is an excellent school teacher. Better people make us better. Now, John also invites us to consider not to just limit ourselves to the people within our field. He said to expand our observation to people of different walks of life. I personally think presidents are some of the greatest speakers or communicators out there. I love President Bill Clinton, as well as Obama. They're great speakers. In fact, that's where I learned this hand gesture from. This hand gesture is very well known as the Clinton thumb because he uses it very often in his speech. Now, you can also listen to great communicators on the radio. It is from the radio that I learned. And did you know that we as human beings love to hear our name in conversations? It was in this one interview that I learned from this one gentleman who was saying the name of the host in almost every response he was giving back to the host. The saying of the name of the other person while you're having that conversation just make that conversation that much more personable. I was like, wow. I even felt close to him, listening to him speaking on behalf of her because he said her name so often. Imagine Haley was to ask me a question and I respond and say, Haley, that's an excellent question. Haley, did you know that good communicators learn from great communicators? And Haley, if I want to get better in my health, I would want to learn from you, Haley, because you're an expert in that field. Imagine that kind of conversation where I can say the name of the person to make that conversation that much more personable. That's how I learned that. I learned it from listening to another great speaker on the radio. To expand your observation and horizon, just listen and observe different people in different fields. Now, Mr. Maxwell also says that you are to observe with intentionality and not casually. Now, this is very important. I want to make sure you get this. You want to listen with intentionality and not casually. How does one do that? How does one listen or observe with intentionality? Well, lucky for us, in that very chapter, John shared with us 8 questions to keep in mind when we're listening or observing. And here they are. Number 1, what did the communicator do to connect? Number 2, why did the introduction work so well? Number 3, what made the structure work? Number 4, what was the best moment and how did the communicator create it? Number 5, what made the communication memorable? Number 6, what was his or her best communication quality? Number 7, how much was personality and how much was technique? Last but not least, what did he or she do that I can try? There you have it, my friends. The secret sauce to your success as a great communicator. Now I'm going to leave it up for another 10 seconds or so in case you want to take a screenshot of it. You all are smart people, and I trust that you got it. Except for that one person in that square on your Zoom screen to your right. They seem to be on the slow zone or slow lane, if you know what I mean. So feel free to direct message them, say, it's okay, I'll help you out, and I'll share my notes with you. Go ahead. All jokes aside. Now, how do you get started? Well, you get started by beginning to observe others. And here are some steps for you to try, should you want to take it on. Start where you are. Practice your craft. Speak as often as you can. Observe others who are greater or better than us. See what technique you can borrow, imitate, or steal. Now, I want to be very clear. It is only within this context that I'm saying it's okay to steal. Please don't take it out of context and go say, Tan said it's okay to steal. I didn't say that. Only within this context, okay? See what works and what doesn't work. Adapt and then make it your style that works for you. Create your own style. Make it your DNA. If your answer to the question, what are you doing to get better as a communicator is, I don't know, I haven't thought about it, then consider taking this on as a plan. If your answer is, I already got a plan, then great for you. I hope to add value to or supplement your plan with this that I'm sharing. You don't have to be great to start. You do have to start to get great. So take these 4 steps with those 8 questions, and then you will be on the way to become a great communicator. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.